I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a yearling list next week. I didn't realize so many people were waiting with bated breath to hear about the yearlings. So I'm going to do a yearling list for you. It only takes a minute, and I'm happy to do it. A few little things today. It's cold. It is super cold today. It's 12 o'clock and it says 0, but the wind, it was at least minus 10 with the wind today. Man, oh man, I only went with 1 or 2 horses, but it was freezing cold. Just watching everybody go with them, I was getting cold. So, why is this phone doing this? Get out of that. So, what happened today was my phone, which I'm recording this on. I usually have the list of the yearlings, but I didn't have my list with me, and then I started getting emails from people, what about this horse? What about that horse? I said, I'll do the list. I'll do it. So I borrowed Amy's phone, which has the list on it, and wanted to make sure I got everybody's done. So, updates today. Entered some horses in to go. We have some horses coming home. I just bid on another horse at On Gate, didn't get him. I just thought for the price he was getting to, we could do better. The claiming series started last night in Northfield Park. For us to claim a horse out of that, I think it's a progressive claiming series, would cost us $25,000, I think, next Sunday night. So that's what we're going to aim to. So for those of you out there wondering about, why is this turning off so quick? Wondering about maybe this claiming series and what's going on with these horses, we are going to claim one of their next. That's our plan anyways, to claim a horse out of that claiming series next week to race. The one after that would be a $27,000 claimer, and then the final, I don't know if you can claim out of the final. It doesn't really matter. Probably goes for $30,000 or something. So a good series, and probably a good way to pick up a decent trotter. So I noticed that Big Box Hanover, or whatever his name was last year, was in that series and was not claimed, and then ended up going on to be a pretty effective horse at Yonkers and sold for over 100 on Gate. Now, I don't think that that's a business model that's likely to repeat itself, but at the same time, a good place to go to get a decent trotter. So rather than buy the horse off On Gate for $17,000 or $18,000, we'll just claim one out of the 25 claiming series next week. So for those of you out there saying what's next for the racehorse side of the stable.ca, we will actively be looking to and likely will claim a horse out of the 25,000 claiming series next weekend. So that out of the way. So and Sue qualified today. She's going to be coming home with me when I come home Tuesday. So tomorrow morning I get up, hook onto the trailer. May as well hook onto the trailer now, actually. Hook onto the trailer. Get to the Meadows for race 7. It's not technically early morning driving because I don't have to be there until I'll do the quick math. I may have 12:45, 1:45, 2:45. It's a 5-hour drive. I don't have to leave there until 9:30 here. So it's not really a morning drive. I don't know what the border will be like now. It's a Tuesday morning. It is open now, but it's a Tuesday morning. Should be able to scoot through okay through Queenston, Lewiston, get to the Meadows. Somebody's got me on a couple of horses to drive. Kevin Johnson did. Fine. And then we have our 3. We have Walk on the Moon. I'm a Lovely Lady. First start back with no hobbles on. And our girl, Mama Knows Best. I'm going to take So and Sue from the Meadows after the last race that I'm done driving in. Drive 2 hours to Northfield Park. Pick up 2 babies. Of the 4 that are left, 2 will be on our trailer. And then heading home to join the rest of the babies here. Now, that leaves 2 babies at Northfield Park. It leaves our horse in New Jersey also. I spoke to the veterinarian drawing the Coggins test for Swan's Honey. That horse should be ready to ship on Wednesday. So I'm going to call Doyle and say, hey, can you pick that horse up in New Jersey, scoop the other 2 babies up from Northfield Park, and head home. That is the plan there. And over the next 2 weeks, we have horses to come back from Kentucky, right? We have Blue Bayou. Now, Blue Bayou is going to have another couple of weeks off. But we do have Garden State Dio and Unbeatable Kemp to come back. So maybe we'll meet them in the middle. Rather than bring them back on the 1st, we'll give a little extra time to Blue Bayou Dio and bring 3 of them back from Kentucky. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, the 7th of December. Where they go, I believe they're going to Northfield, but we'll have a little better idea about our staff, if we need people, if we don't need people, who needs horses, who doesn't, and then also coordinate that with Lauren in Ohio. Do they need horses? Do they have too many? How many other horses are coming back in? Keep in mind, we have all our heavyweights as 2-year-olds to come back in the first couple of weeks at the latest to Northfield. Slim Jimmy, Sweet on Pete, Purple Aura. Now, for those of you wondering, those horses are staying in Ohio. As we sit right now and talk about this, those horses will not be coming back to Ontario to do their training here unless we need them here, or unless they have too many horses at Northfield, or unless at some point I believe they need to come home. But for right now, especially for the first month, 2 months probably, a month of jogging and then light training, they certainly don't need to be doing that here in Ontario Tomiko Training Center when they can be doing that at Northfield Park. So that's that. All right, now you got your updates out of the way. No, we have another update. Locatelli is scratched tonight. No particular reason, just an abundance of mucus in his nose. We had him scoped after his training trip on Friday, I believe. The vet said it's all in his head, it's all ahead. Just head sickness, not a big deal. Much like you'd have a runny nose or mucus yourself. You can function, but is he ready to go out and race a great race? Last thing I want to do is see the horse race poor and say, I know what happened after. We know what could happen right now. So to move forward with an abundance of caution. We're going to scratch the horse, school him on Friday. You might say, well, why would you school him Friday? Because we can treat him between now and Friday. This has nothing to do with the lungs. The airway was not red. It didn't have any pimples in it. There was no need to think or reason to believe that there was an abundance of mucus down low. It was all up in his head. So it was just a matter of cleaning that up. Harry jogged him this morning just to see what his nose looked like because we didn't have him scoped yet. And he said it was running out of him. So they're going to flush his guttural pouches, his nasal passages, whatever. Going to flush those out with some mild antibiotics. Start him on mild antibiotics today, and then push forward with the idea of schooling him on Friday. He was ready to race tonight. We just were very cautious with him and decided to scratch him. So he'll be back in to go soon. He just didn't want to have the horse look bad his first start, right? So I understand where Harry's coming from. He's right. Shouldn't race the horse. We're not going to race him. End of story. So now we're 7 minutes into our video. Let's get to the babies for you. If you don't have any 2-year-olds, this will conclude your video for Monday. If you do have any 2-year-olds, I'm going to give you a quick update of how the horses look, what they're doing. Why is this thing doing this? How they're doing and what they're up to. Absolute euphoria. You guys don't know this filly very much yet. Pacing filly by Do Me That Again. I really liked what I saw from her. Then she gets sick like the other horses. Still had a tiny temperature today. We gave her some bute and kicked her out in the field. She should start jogging tomorrow, I would suspect. Always Charming is still in Ohio. She'll be coming back. She'll be one of the last 2 to come back. I forget. Well, we'll find out who the other one is in a minute. But for now, Always Charming. This is the Enterprise filly. Really like her. She's the sister to, let me get this right now for the first time. She is the sister to Caviar Roxy Dew that raced against Sweet on Pete and Purple Aura last year. Had a very good year in her own right. This is her brother by Enterprise. His name is Always Charming. Very, very nice colt. Anchors Up is jogging now. I scooted him along a little bit. I was happy with what I saw from that guy. It's a Trixton colt that we bought in Harrisburg. Austral Hanover. Now, for those of you out there saying, I don't want to get shut out, and there's not a lot of horses that have shares left that are on the board. You're right. There is a horse that is very interesting to me. The international monies are going to turn some heads this year, I believe. He didn't get the deep book of mares that some of the other sires did, Father Patrick and some of the other ones. But at the same time, I think Austral Hanover has a lot to offer. He was really bad to put the harness on the first day, and I thought there was going to be some fireworks. Brought him out in the track. All business. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trotted perfectly. I like this horse. So for those of you, if you're out there and you're saying, I wonder where, I'd like to get another share or 2 of a baby, but I'm not sure who. If you don't mind the jurisdiction of Pennsylvania, Austral Hanover is very affordable, first off, and secondly, just a really, really nice horse from what I can see. Captain in the Air looks fantastic. I see the shares getting down there on this horse. How couldn't they? I had a message last night from Larry, one of our clients, who gave me an entire rundown of why this was a good purchase. Well, thank you. I made it, so I know it was a good purchase so far. Anytime you can get a good-looking Captain Treacherous with any sort of pedigree, this guy has decent pedigree, looks great, had a great backstory behind him. I'm a little surprised it took you guys that long to get him down to 2 shares, but whatever. He's a very nice colt, and very happy with him so far. Carter Michael Dio. So great story here. I was sitting in the Meadowlands restaurant with my wife and Jeff Corellis, obviously the owner of the Meadowlands and one of our clients. He owns some shares in horses here. And we went to dinner with him and his wife, Paula, and some other people. And I saw a gentleman just sitting behind. He kind of looked at me. You know, you see somebody looking at you and they think they know you, or they're trying to figure out anyway, maybe you don't. But once in a while it'll happen. You'll see somebody out of the corner of your eye kind of looking at you funny. And I walked by the gentleman. He'd a young man with him. I walked by him a couple of times, and he finally stopped me. He goes, "Are you Anthony McDonald?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I'm Mike Galata. I am Dio Volante Farms. Spirited Dio, Blue Bayou Dio, Duke Dio. All the Dios are his, originally." And he said, "You bought a yearling from me this year." I said, "I bought a couple of horses from you over the last 4 years." I said, "You guys do a really good job raising your horses." He goes, "Well, thank you very much. How do you like that colt?" I said, "Carter Michael Dio?" I said 2 things. First, he's fantastic. The horse, I told everybody, of all the horses we broke, I like all of them so far. You know, they all have their good habits and their bad habits. But obviously there's one that sticks out. When somebody says, "Hey, who looks the best?" I said, "Sir, we have 62 babies that we have going right now. And if somebody asked me that question right away, I would say Carter Michael Dio." I like a ton of horses we have. They look powerful, strong. But when you talk about a fluid gait and a gifted looking horse, and then when you combine that, I said, when you combine that, I don't tell you, you bred him. He's Taekwondo Dio's brother. Probably one of the most interesting stories in the entire storyline of 2021 to date. I can tell you which ones I think carry the most value today in regards to that, which ones that we paid the least amount for that I think are worth quite a bit more. We have that list. I had that list in my head also. But dollar for dollar, all things being equal, who impresses you the most? Carter Michael Dio. The colt looks like $1 million on the track. You know, I said he's a big colt. He goes, I was just about to ask you what your take on his size. I said, well, we have lots of big horses race early. We have lots of big horses that take time. Really, it's how they strike the ground and how their gait forms, how hard they hit the ground. You know, the torque in that is what I think plays a major role, right? You have a big colt that's born anywhere mid-year, like March, April, May, mid-breeding season, or filly. You know, you have to worry about the development in their stifles, and are their knees going to close up quick enough, or are you pushing them too hard? This horse, they said, he just hits the ground, is light. You could never believe. I have horses a quarter his size that hit the ground harder than him. He has the most, and I said, honestly, he said, he has got a very beautiful gait. You know, exquisite looking trotter. I like everything about him. And he said, "Oh, that's great to hear." He said, "We'll be following him." He said, "I just, you know, saw the horse on your website or whatever, and pretty cool." I never got to know him, but I do enjoy bidding on and buying his horses. They do a great job with the breeding. They get a deep group of mares, and it put a lot of money into the sport. So just one of those little things I always wanted to do. I always wanted to meet Mr. Galata, and I was able to at the Meadowlands Saturday night. So it's pretty cool. So Carter Michael Dio, absolutely beautiful horse. I love everything about this horse. I couldn't like him any more than I like him right now. Cash Deals looks great on the track. I haven't seen her the last 4 or 5 days, but Mario said she continues to trot well and look good. This is the wheeling and dealing filly that we picked up really, really early on at the Ohio sale. Just a bad place to run a wheeling and dealing through the first sale of the year. But does everything right. Really happy with Cash Deals. Chocolate for lunch. I saw her the other day. Hobbles were out long. Her head was down really low. She looked really amazing. I was very impressed. This is the filly that had the kind of offset knees, and she does. She has offset knees, but again, how hard does she hit the ground is going to play a role on whether she'll be able to move forward with her knees, whether they'll even bother her at all, or whether they will play a role. We won't know until much later on, but from what I saw on the track the other day, she looks really, really nice. Columbus, One of my favorite pickups for the entire sale was Columbus. I was really happy with him. Really, you just thought I was talking to myself, did you? Well, I do that too sometimes, but... So, Columbus. Amy has Columbus now. Amy and Kirby took 7 horses down to Shed Row 10. Amy wanted to focus on doing the horses and just focus on those horses. So, she has Columbus down here with her. I love this horse. I love everything about him. I love what we paid for him. I like the way he moves. I love everything about Columbus, and I can't wait to see him pick up speed a little bit this Saturday. We are planning to have the drone this Saturday. Curtis said it's going to be a tight fit, but he thinks he can work it out. So the drone will hopefully be here this Saturday, which is, I don't know the date, but it's close to December. How's that? Coupe de Ville got a little sick when she got here, but Johnny was telling me today she looked really, really good. He was really happy with her. So Coupe de Ville, this is obviously the sister to Globetrotting by What the Hell. So she looked good today. There's Jason just finishing up with his own filly. So Coupe de Ville looks good. I thought she lost a little weight when she got sick, so I just told Johnny make sure they get her fed up real good. Start bulking her up because she moves real nice on the track. Crantini, a bit of a troublemaker. Old Crantini, to be honest, laid down here and broke a jog cart 4 or 5 days ago. I've been going with him myself the last 3 days. Just a little stubborn, a little stubborn and a little sore in his mouth. So we haven't got the wolf teeth out of the Harrisburg horses yet. So you got to give them a wide berth. I just told him, leave him alone. I will do Crantini from now on. I will jog him. So tomorrow I'm gone to the meadows, and I told them, don't even hook him. Put him right out in the field. I'll go with him Wednesday. It's no disrespect to any of the other guys that are here, but I know the horse. I know what his tendencies are. And further to that, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, because they may or may not have made a mistake with the horse. So I will go with him Wednesday. He's not dangerous, but he is stubborn, and he's a big boy. So you have to be very careful. There's a time, to have some tough love, so to speak, but that's not that time. This horse he's smart, just a little stubborn. When you go to turn him left or turn him right, his first instinct is to stop. And then if you try and fight with him after that, you know where that's going to lead to, right? He can move forward. If you snap him with the whip, he might move forward or he might lay down. That's exactly what happened the other day. So I'm going with Crantini. You guys will be very, very pleased with what you see on Saturday. This horse is fast. He's got a big, strong gait, and I love everything about him. Yeah, it bothers me when anytime a horse breaks a jog cart or acts up, but at the same time, got a little spunk to him. Maybe that jog cart was on his deathbed anyway. So, Crantini, I'll go with Crantini Saturday, and I'll go with him every day up until Saturday. Cunning Connie, again, beautiful filly. This is one of the horses that's going to surprise you. There's going to be a lot of people talk about Cunning Connie after Saturday. The way she looks, the way she moves, everything's so nonchalant about this filly. I love everything about Cunning Connie. Cutie Cumber does all her work right. She looks nice. She's going to polish up really nice too. She's just a nice trotting filly. Depend on it. I know that Deb loves Depend on it. I haven't seen Depend on it since he got back, but I know I saw him the first couple of days when I went with him in Ohio, in a very big, strong, good-looking colt. And obviously, I'm going to lean towards Long Tom. I suspect we'll breed some of our mares to Long Tom. He is a beautiful, beautiful sire. I love everything about him. And Depend on it, another horse. Here's a Long Tom right here. Does everything right. Dreaming on Credit looked good the other day. Continues to trot. The small colt. This is an Ohio bred colt. I just want to make sure she got him in the right jurisdiction. She does. So this is a small Credit fashion colt, but he looks really, really good on the track. He's going to put some muscle on, but that gait, that way he looked in the video that drew my eyes to him in the sale is very evident on the track. He is one flashy, slick-looking trotter. So I can't wait to see him also on Saturday. Enzo Aguero. Looks good. He was a horse that got sick. We vaccinated him when he came up also. He was sick for a few days. Then he got better. I hit him with the vaccine. And ever since we have done that, the horse looked fantastic. So Enzo will be here full force on Saturday also. Fashion Presidente has looked good. This horse over on the left shaft a bit. He also laid down a couple of times, but this is Donato in him. I wasn't surprised. I waited till the end and I said, bring him out. I know this is going to end poorly. And they're just good feeling, big, strong bullies is what they are. And they're all like that, the ones that we got anyway. So Fashion Presidente, we're going to fix the bulliness because he's going to be castrated real soon. But he is over on the left shaft a bit. So I think he's a horse. I'm going to send him up and get Melissa to fluoroscope him. If there's any issues, the reason that being important is, say he does have an OCD in an ankle or something, send him to the University of Guelph, have the OCD out, and while he's knocked out on the table, guess what? Then the old nutties come off. So that's probably what we'll do with Fashion Presidente heading in. My God, Amy, like 4 seconds and your phone shuts off? How annoying is that? So Fashion Presidente will go up to get fluoroscoped. He'll be going Saturday. He'll go up to get fluoroscoped, and then we will see what they say and go from there. Either way, he's going to be castrated. Where did we get to here? Fashion Presidente, 5 fish species, looks awesome. I'm really, really pleased with this filly. Another one with offset knees, but lands perfectly on the ground. No torque, no slamming her feet down, just kind of flops them over, just like Baumhugger did. So I don't think there'll be any issues with this filly whatsoever. Full Heart, this is Ailson. I remembered it. Ailson's sister. She's bigger and much better put together than Ailson was. Ailson trotted 55 and was a decent filly for us, but she had her shortcomings. She interfered behind, she touched her knee. Now her sister looks like she might touch her knee, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. She's a big, tall filly. You're really, really going to like her. She's got a big white blaze down the front of her. Gandalf the Black looks great. Mario's done a great job with him. I couldn't be happier with this horse. We got a huge discount on him because he was a Ridgeling. We fixed the Ridgeling, like no problem. Sent him up to the University of Guelph, had him castrated, brought him back, broke him again, got him gated. Horse is out there pacing with hobbles on. Looks fantastic. GJ's ATM. I couldn't remember the sire of this horse. Credit Creation is the name of the sire. So Illinois bred. Of the Illinois breds right now, I really like the way all 3 of them trot. This guy actually beat up on them now the first day we went in the drill. So really, if you could trot an entire lap with any speed, you were a standout the first time we droned everybody. This guy was definitely a standout. I can't wait to see him on Saturday. High Enterprise really has caught my eye, and for a number of reasons. This was my pick. Very few horses were must-haves. For me in 2021. Rarely will you ever hear me say, I really want this horse. This is a horse I have to have. Because that inevitably leads to stretching, right? You wanted her for X, you or him or her, you had to pay a little bit more. Rarely am I okay with that. But when I was trying to price this filly, I couldn't price her. You know, she had a sister to Blue Porsche, first crop Enterprise. What do you think? It's weird because you saw the first crop value in Tactical Landing, right? They were all discounted a little bit. For the most part, all the Tactical Landings were. But then you went to Ohio and you see first crop Enterprise and everybody paid a fortune for them. I can't remember they paid a lot for all of them, but this one here I thought we'd get for 40 to 50 and we had to pay 51. One I went over, but so happy to get this filly and she looks beautiful on the track. Hill Street Blues, I actually asked Johnny today, did you go with this horse yet? And he goes, no, and he loved Eternity Road. So did James. He said, no. He goes, no. He said, Hill Street Blues, I don't think I have. I said, that's Eternity Road's brother, you know. Really? I said, yeah. Yep. By What the Hill. Good looking colt, has done everything right from day one. And I shouldn't say I've done everything right. He's a little bit bossy also, and took the kicking, I believe, on day one, but maybe it was day 2. But either way, they said he's settled in well now and looks really good on the track. I haven't seen him here in Ontario, so I probably will go with him on Wednesday just to get a good look at him. Horn Player looks fantastic. She's down here with Amy. Amy really likes that filly because she does everything right. Lady All-Star now starting to get it all right. Before, no head check, low head, open bridle. Now she'll go up to the track and do her work properly. It's just sometimes you got to stop and say, okay, she's not like the other ones. What can we do to make her like the other ones? And we're there now to that point. She looked really good all week. last week jogging. I saw her a couple of times. They said she was great again today, which is important because today's Monday. They're in the stall on Sunday. If they're going to act up, this would be the day to do it. They said she was perfect. Landing Pad, as I said, probably one of the most underrated horses in our midst is this horse. I loved his video. I love everything about him. He trots beautifully. Will kick once in a while, but I think he's just a big, strong colt, and I think that will dissipate over time, but beautiful gait on this colt. Landing Strip, much like this guy, but doesn't kick and trots all day long. Beautiful colt. I love everything about both. The Tactical Landings, I like them, right? We broke them. We got a chance to look at these horses. They look good. They feel good. They do their work properly. All the things you want to see a horse do, they do. For the most part, the things you don't want to see a horse do, they don't. I mean, that's already, when you talk about pedigree and then how the mechanics of these horses look, I think Tactical Landing's going to have a big season in New Jersey. Leaps and Bounds. This is the bar hopping filly. Amy has her. She loves her. Amy and I both picked this filly out. You know, Amy will say, oh, I picked this filly out. We both did. I loved Leaps and Bounds. I loved her video. I loved the way she looked at the sale when we got there. And she was a super, super easy purchase for what we paid for. And she looks great on the track and in the barn. Oh, Magical Tom, you got him down to 26%. Good for you. Still, I'm warning you, I'm really close to getting all the finances moved around where they have to be. And if I have any extra money, old Tommy's coming with Daddy. So, Magical Tom, he looks awesome on the track. Johnny's asked me 4 times. He said, you know, I might buy into a horse, and it's going to be Magical Tom if I do. I really like him. He does everything right, and he's got some speed. He's got some pickup for a horse in November. And I said, yeah, of course he does. Another long Tom. You know, it's pretty hard not to like the long Toms. People might say, well, they didn't go for a whole lot. You guys know why. Just go and look. He didn't get great mares. He had a great season this year. He's going to have a great season next year. And at that point, think of it. You have to get the mare in foal her out, have the yearling, then go to the races. It might be another year before you see Long Tom start to get the book of mares he deserves. He'll get them. He makes nice horses. Merchant Man. I haven't seen Merchant Man this week, but I know how much I loved him the first day or two that I went with him. Super impressed with Merchant Man and very happy with the way he's looked on the track. You guys haven't seen her yet. She's coming home tomorrow. Her name is Mo Power Baby. This is a muscle massive filly, and she is a big, powerful filly. She looks really, really nice. I can't wait to get her home and start going with her. More Than You Know is a Heston Blue Chip colt that was sent here from Wayne Schaefer and his son Jacob. And I can't wait to get him home tomorrow also. He should be gated up. If he's not, he'll be gated up Wednesday, Thursday. The Hestons, they do pace. They pace lots. He's in a tough spot, you know. He didn't get great mares in New York and got chased out of New York. Then he went to a deeper part of the pool, from what I can see, in Pennsylvania. Is there a spot there for him? I don't know. Now he's heading to Delaware. That's the ticket. Heston Blue Chip, I think, will do very, very good in Delaware. My 1%, a lot of people asking, is My 1% okay now? He said he went to the vet and he was over on the shaft. I told you guys what happened. Horse went to the vet, was over on the shaft, looked like maybe he got cast in the stall and kind of tweaked his stifle a bit. He's fine now. Horse looks great. I didn't see him only a couple of times last week, but Mario said the horse is fine now. He's back to himself. Nothing But a Dreamer. For those of you who bought into him, because of what I said, what I saw after the sale, you're going to be very pleased to come Sunday. This horse looks awesome on the track. Very, very impressed with Nothing But a Dreamer. Oh my gosh, another horse that has impressed me. You talk about value. Nothing But a Dreamer. If they just hadn't posted the video that they did of him looking lame in the sale, I think he brings 40 or 50. But oh my gosh, as far as value goes, I think Nothing But a Dreamer had lots of value, but not as much as, oh my gosh, this horse looked incredible in the sale. I really thought that this was a $70,000 or $80,000 colt. That was only affirmed to me in my mind when about 40 minutes before there was another Swan for All that went for 60 or 70 or 80. This guy I thought was as good or better looking than most horses I saw. I can't quantify how he only brought 22, but man, he looks great on the track too, this horse. A horse that I want everybody to watch. Now, I told you what I like and don't like about the horses, and the private horses, until I see them go, it's hard for me to tout them, right? I didn't see any videos of them. I didn't get to put my hands on them, but we broke them. We looked at them. They didn't go through a sale. They were private purchases, or they were sent here by breeders. A horse that I think everybody's going to fall in love with this winter is a horse named Old Check. Old Check is Miss Brampton Beast full brother. Half brother to Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush was a little lazy, as a lot of his sire's horses are, And Miss Brampton Beast kind of had a problem with her airway. She would shut her air off once in a while. She was sulky also. This guy, sharp as a tack, happy all the time. He tucks his head a little bit. I said to Danny, we're going to nip that in the bud this year. We're going to put a little overcheck on him to get his head out a little bit. But from what I can see on the track, he has got the slickest, quickest gait. I love everything about Old Check. So if you guys aren't really sold yet, you're not full up, you're looking for Ontario horses, don't pass this guy by, I don't think. Really good looking colt. Outlaw Jesse James, this is Brenda's horse. I wasn't sure of his gender. Brenda reaffirmed that he absolutely has a penis, so he's a colt. And there's a big C right here beside his name, so that would have been a giveaway also. But Outlaw Jesse James, Mario's happy with him, going nice on the track. Probably one, again, a horse that was grossly discounted for a sire was Real Fear. I don't blame people. The Fear of the Dragons did not light the world on fire last year. In fact, they resoundingly get mauled all year by Down by the Seasides. But Down by the Seaside can't win everything, right? And they can't all be worth a ton of money. And then when I look at the pedigree and the way Real Fear looked, this horse is a gorgeous animal. And he brought next to nothing. Now, we haven't been touting him. I see there's 80 shares of the horse here. But at some point, I think a lot of people are going to start taking notice of this guy. Beautiful gait, great attitude, which was the opposite of the Fear of the Dragon we had. I think that was the one dig, was that a lot of them were sour, right? Not this guy. This guy's happy all the time and looks great on the track. So again, for our Ohio clients out there, if you're not full up yet and you're saying, I might be in the market for another Ohio bred, Real Fear may be a horse you might want to look at. Really, really good looking colt. Rosita's Dream, had to make some shoeing changes with him. He immediately, as soon as we made I wanted to change him up front, see how he looked, and make a little change behind. I don't know if we'll need to make the change behind. He looked awesome. In fact, I can tell you, I probably went a mile in 3 minutes. So the first horse to train a full flat mile in the stable this year was Rosita's Dream. He looked awesome on the track. Now, he was broke a long time before everybody else, so it's not that shocking. But he looked really, really good on the track. He was happy. He was happy with the shoeing change. He was interfering behind and getting out of gear. I just turned his shoes around up front, and immediately the horse just took off. He was a different horse. He looked awesome on the track again today. Silent Assassin looks fantastic in Harry's barn. This is a good-looking filly. Can't wait to see how she trains down. This is a Devious Man that we picked up in Illinois, of all places. We picked our first New York bred up in the state of Illinois. She looks great. Sipping on My Shine is with my wife, Amy. She loves this horse. This was one that I had picked out. If you go back and look at our videos from the summer when we went to the farms to look at them, Hickory Lane Farms had Sipping on My Shine. I told everybody, pedigree wasn't excellent, but the horse, there was just something about him. I really liked him. Amy loves this horse. He looks great on the track. Sir Strong, very strong. He's ready to start training this horse. He looked incredible the other day when I went with him. I really pushed him hard for a good 3/8 of a mile, and he just kept getting stronger and stronger. Come off the track, couldn't blow a match out. Really, really impressed with this colt. Really impressed with him. Sister Solange, again, a horse that I've touted and talked about. I think there was a line. There was a line. I'll stop saying it was a thin line, but there was a very small line of interest and difference between hip 47 and 49 at Harrisburg. Hip 49 was Sister Solange. Hip 47 was a big father. They're both Father Patrick's. A big Father Patrick filly, a little bit bigger than this one, out of the blue chip consignment. Now, I thought the pedigree was better on Sister Solange, and the blue chip filly a little bigger and stronger looking, but this filly looks plenty big and strong. So, to me, it was almost 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, in my mind. We bought Sister Solange for $35,000. Someone else they bought hip 47 out of the blue chip, the other Father Patrick, for $165,000. So you can only imagine how much value I thought was tied to Sister Solange when I saw one 2 hips before, 10 minutes before at most, go through for 4 or 5 times what we paid for Sister Solange. So I just thought there was tons of value there, and on the track she is gorgeous. Smoking Hot Irish Girl looks great. This is Yes's sister. Yes always looked lanky and kind of had that clunky, ugly gait to him. His whole life he did, till he get bigger and stronger, and he still does for from time to time right now. But that was Yes, right? This filly, she is slick. She does everything beautifully. I'm really, really happy with Smoking Hot Irish Girl. Spitfire Overseas, another beautiful, good-looking in international money. We're probably going to breed some of our mares to international money. They just make beautiful horses. This is obviously, he's a son of Moneymaker, so strong pedigree on that side. He is Pennsylvania, a little concerning, but he is Pennsylvania. So I still think some of our mares, we need to breed them to sires that are throwing big, strong, very correct horses. International money is likely going to get some of our business this year. Spitfire Overseas, I don't have to talk too much about him. You're going to see on Saturday. Swinging Senorita, I love this filly too. This is the what the hell out of the mare. So funny story. The horse that beat 3 Point Blue Chip, that won the Valley Victory, is out of a mare that James owned and trained with Johnny. Right? Winstraw, dirty, rotten, kicking mare. And she threw a lot of nice horses. The winner of the Valley Victory was out of that mare, Winstraw. James had her. Another horse James and Johnny had, Lee Trevino, is the mother of Swinging Senorita. So small world. Pretty cool. I like this filly. She's got a big, long gait to her. I really, really like what I see in her. Tactical Mounds looks great also. Another Tactical Landing. Every single one of them look good that we have. Every one of them. Not 2, 3, 4. All of them look good. All 6 of them I've been impressed with. Tactical Mounds looks great. Tailgate Buzz. This is the full brother to Taiwan On, the half brother to Tipsy and Dixie. He looks great on the track. Tactical Tactor looks awesome. You know, it says it all. James wheeled up beside me and he goes, yeah, that's what I assume $155,000 worth of horse flesh looks like. He looks awesome on the track. Little quirky coming down the ramp, going up the ramp. Sometimes Amy has him here, and she goes with him every day. But on the track, he is perfect. Twin Cedars All-Star. You guys are going to fall in love with this horse. He got lots of white and chrome all over him. His nose, all his legs. I don't know if his nose does. All 4 legs have white socks. He's beautiful. He was sick when he got here, but he's healthy now, and he looks like $1 million. Una Madonna looks awesome. I let her scoot along the other day. She's a beautiful filly. I love these Tactical Landings. Victor Cruz will be coming back. That's the last horse. Victor Cruz and Always Charming will be the last 2 Ohio breds to come back to Ontario. They'll come back the end of the week, middle of the week, hopefully. Warwee Yuri looks great on the track. This is a Cadabra brother to Warwee Roo. Big, big, strong colt. I can't imagine he's going to be ready in June. He's just too damn big. But we'll see. We'll see how he trains down. What a Mission. Again, dollar for dollar, he's in the top 3 biggest value horses purchases we made. So for such a small amount of money, we got what I consider to be a lot of talent. This guy's near the top of the list. I love Oh My Gosh is on that list. I said to you guys, Landing Pad, even though he was 42, I thought there was just a tremendous amount of value there. And then obviously What a Mission, I think, is almost at the top of the list. He looks awesome on the track. Whispering Song looks good. She's back now in the barn. I think she got a little sick the first couple of days, but she's fine now. She looks good on the track. And Wouldn't It Be Nice? That is another Ontario Pacer by He's Watching. She looks great. Talk about value. We'll see how much value, but for a horse that was $9,000 and looks the way she does, there's value to be had and value to be seen in Wouldn't It Be Nice? So that's it. Now you're updated. You got a massive video, 38 minutes long. You have all your yearlings are done and the updates for today. So I will talk to you all very, very soon. I hope you had a great weekend.